everyone. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Sorry, it took some time for some configuration. I got some internet issues, but that's not solved. And do let me know if you guys can see me, hear me, and voice and everything sounds all great. Just to confirm, by the way. Uh, and I will start as soon as I see your responses from you guys. So do start commenting so I will understand. Okay, I'm live. Hey, Azad. I was trying to configure one software called OneStream, and that turned out to be the worst software I've ever tried. I'll be cancelling my subscription there anyway. But okay, fine. So I did use custom streaming, and that's why I'm able to live this time. I will just give just 5 minutes so other people can join. Hey Vishal, hi. Okay, fine. Let me turn the commenting. Okay. Okay, looks everything fine and everyone joined, all great. So let's the session get started, and let me just turn on that. Okay, I hope you guys can see it now. So today we'll be talking about serverless computing, and again I'll be starting from very basic. So if you don't have any idea about serverless computing, what it is, how it works, don't worry. I'll be very slow. I will think that you have zero knowledge. I will start like that way. Okay. So don't worry at all. If you don't have any knowledge, it's good. I'm starting from beginning. Okay. And I'll be showing you how to configure some serverless application. So it will be a great exercise as well. Okay. So looks like who are joining. Okay. Yes. Azad, Pritika, Vipin, Ram. So yeah, thanks again for joining. So we are starting the session. I think everyone else will be also starting shortly. So not to worry. And in any way, this session is recorded session. So if anyone misses the beginning, they can join later on. It's fine. Now, yes. So we'll talk about what exactly is the serverless computing. Now, serverless computing. Just go with the definition, then I will simplify you guys. Okay. So serverless computing is a method providing backend services on an as used basis, and a serverless provider allow users to write and deploy code without the hassle of worrying about the underlying infrastructure. A company that gets backend services from a serverless vendor is charged based on their computation and do not have to reserve and pay for the fixed amount on their vendor charge based on their computation and do not have to reserve and pay for a fixed amount of bandwidth or number of servers. And as the service is auto scaling, and of course the service is also auto scaling. Note that despite the name of serverless, physical servers are still used, but developer do need to be aware of them. Now I know the bookish language many people don't understand anyway. At the beginning also I also didn't understand all this, I was having bit fear, like what exactly serverless? Am I behind the people who are already into the serverless? And yeah, the curiosity itself helped me gaining around I think 4 years. I'm already working. Of course, I started containerization around I think 6-7 years back at the beginning of my career, and 4 years back I started serverless computing. And turned out to be that I was worrying that what is this very advanced technology? It could be maybe it will be tough for me to start. It was a zero hassle. It's a very easy one. The thing is the conceptual part. So this serverless what that made me confusing. Like without serverless, how is it going to working? So the fact is, there is even the word is serverless. It's actually not a serverless. Like less server, not zero servers. So how the concept works? Okay. So suppose you have one application or API, for example, mainly APIs and all. I'll be talking about the use cases anyway in more advanced. Just a thinking process. Start by thinking it's your API. If your API doesn't need to get access 24/7, so what I'm saying by that, suppose some people will come and say they come to your website, it will call some API to get the data, and once they're gone, there is no APIs. I mean, there is no site needed, no APIs needed, right? But if you're running a server 24/7, even if there is no users, that's a no-brainer. I mean, think very carefully. It's a loss. Like, you are running your services, you are running your server. That server you're running is costing you a lot, right? What if only users come? When they use the services, then only your APIs get accessed or your services get accessed. And once there is no users or less users, based on the usage of the users, the entire server will come up and will go down. Think that way, okay? So it's a, you can say, it's, there is servers which are serving your APIs, but you do not need to provision those servers. You do not need to concern about the patches, fixes all over the servers. No, all you are worrying about is the APIs. The APIs, in the sense, the API that you are programming, the API that you are putting a lot or business logic into, that only you have to worry. Of course, each platform have its own way of defining functions or this kind of specifications. So you have to be aware of that only. But you don't have to be aware of the underlying infrastructure. Underlying infrastructure in the sense, the servers, the OS, the patching of the servers, the isolation of the servers. You don't have to actually worry about that. Only worry about your codes and codes. That's it. So that was the actual formula also. Now think about why I thought it's so complicated. I thought it's so complicated because I was thinking maybe I need to learn other things, other new programmings and all. No, whatever programming language you already know, be it Python, be it JavaScript, be it any other programming language, you can Java, Go, whatever you are thinking right now. You don't have to worry about that. I need to learn a programming language to apply it in a serverless. No, whatever your existing programming knowledge experience you have, with that only you can apply your logics into serverless. So how you can, just for the definition also you can understand, okay, it's a as used basis. So whenever like user will come, whenever you need the APIs to be served, so, or the user needs some response from APIs, then only this will so then only you will be using this. Otherwise, boom, you don't need it. Now a serverless provider allows you to write and deploy code. I will show you how to write and deploy code without infrastructure. Like, you are not going to provision servers, you are not going to do any configuration. You are simply going to run your codes. I'll be going to that. And yes, the backend services. And as for the use cases, I think this is one of the you guys concerned that I'll learn serverless, but what to do with it? I mean, we are learning something, there is no motive behind it, how that can work. So what is you're going to work with the serverless? First on is the API development, okay, and see, it's a intermittent API. So suppose on even 24/7, anytime you need API access, people will come to your site or your applications. You have a mobile app, so whenever people use the app, then only it will trigger the server. I mean, ultimately what happens, mobile apps call the backend servers to get the response, then automatically the server will get provision. You don't have to worry again, and this will serve the response. As soon as the response is served, the servers that are up just to run the function or logics, they will die. So that way the server will serve its purpose and that will shut down. So you are running or you are paying only for the second or minute, maximum minutes only, minutes your server run. You are not paying for 24/7, and that's a huge cost saving. If your usage is low or medium or say intermittent, I will say. So that's what I'm coming at, and the serverless solution actually cheaper. You go any any serverless solution provider, be it AWS, Lambda, GCP function or Azure functions, all are very cheap, to be honest. Now there are scenarios, if you run an infinite loop on the function, you will see your billing also infinite level. I have seen many people, even one of my known person also did the same mistake and they got a $1 million bill and they asked me, Sandip, how gonna save me? I cannot pay $1 million bill. I say, why didn't you put limit? Why didn't you add monitoring? Why you are not adding all these things? Those are also needed. So even though in this session I'm talking about basics of serverless and all, I'll be also telling you what are the next step you can do. And of course, I have the plan to cover. Maybe not this time. It's very busy schedule, but I'll be definitely do that. Okay. And there are very good questions coming. I will be coming to that as well. Just after this definition part, I will be coming to that. Okay. Just before starting the demo, I will cover some questions, and then I will start the general demo I normally give. Okay. Now, another part is that in serverless, you also have to be very sure of the security. Now, you're not concerned about the server security or server infrastructure security. You're concerned in the sense your application security, because ultimately it's the application you are developing, so it's your responsibility. So how you're gonna define the application, like how the authentication should work, is there should be a IP limitation so that you can protect yourself from DDoS attacks. Anyway, AWS or any service provider give you some kind of basic shield against all these DDoS attacks, but still you need to plan for all that. So I'll be coming to that as well. So if you are learning serverless or you want to excel in serverless, what are the tips needed, how, like best practices, I'll be coming to all that. Okay, but yeah, let's focus on the today's topic also, right? So I hope you guys understand what exactly serverless computing. It's simply that you are using less number of servers, or whenever the servers needed, you are utilizing then only. Other time you are just shutting down your servers. So server but less. So less servers you can say. But it's not zero servers. Of course, there are servers which are serving your applications. Otherwise, how this is gonna work? That was my worry, right? Many people worry, like how this is gonna work. So yes, of course, underlying the solution, the services that the cloud service provider give you, there are servers running, but just they will wake up just to serve your request, just to serve your APIs, and when they go, like there is no such API calls happening or there is no usage happening, then shut down, right? And again, use case basis, the API development, one of job, suppose you want to do some one-time processing job, or suppose say you have a image uploading function. Once that image uploaded, say it's a very big image, you need to convert that image into multiple sizes for different use cases. But just for that you are running a 24/7 server, makes no sense, right? So what you can do on that cases, suppose you are uploading that particular file in S3. So as soon as the file getting uploaded in S3, you can add the hook or trigger, okay, and that will trigger a Lambda function, or in serverless other cloud providers, other clouds function, just trigger. They will get the URL as parameter or the file as a parameter, and they will convert the file into different sizes, and they will simply save into another S3 bucket, or same S3 bucket, another different directory or different key path, and the server, like the function will end and the server will die. So just for 1 minute the server served the purpose and this is dying. Similar cases will be log processing. Suppose you have a lot of logs, 1 GB, 2 GB, 5 to 100 GB logs. Suppose it's a one-time processing you need. You don't need to process for every single day, right? Then why to run 24/7? Simply do one-time Lambda processing, and you can even run parallelly. So you can run 100, even 1000. You have to configure accordingly, and that way you can parallelly run all this function, and you can save a lot of time in processing all the data. So data processing, API development, one-off jobs or event-based processing, those cases Lambda or any serverless functionality is excellent. That's the use case. Okay. Whoa, we are learning a lot. Okay. Now the exciting part, and since this is a session with like serverless computing with AWS, let's understand that scenario. So serverless with AWS simply means utilizing serverless solution or services provided by Amazon Web Services or AWS in short, and saving cost and increased performance, and of course much more functionality are there. We'll be coming to that as well. And below are the popular AWS services. The first one I think might have you guys already heard about that. I am not it's not something new that I'm saying to you guys. It's AWS Lambda, and AWS Lambda is an event driven pay as you go compute service that let you run the code without provisioning and managing servers. So complete serverless solution. The next one is AWS Fargate. So AWS Fargate is a serverless compute engine that works with Amazon Elastic Container services, ECS, and Elastic Kubernetes, Amazon Elastic or EKS in short, okay, Kubernetes services. Now this part where I'm talking about the AWS Fargate, it's the Docker image or any you have container image. If you want to, suppose you have one API call coming, maybe for some reason you need to run your own Docker image or whatever container you have, and you cannot rely on Lambdas. Maybe you have very old solution that you already work so hard, you cannot use Lambda for any reason. Okay, maybe for example the configuration, the complexity, or whatever is the use case, you cannot run in a Lambda. There could be anything. You can run on the AWS Fargate instead. So that's one thing. Again, it's a serverless container running. Instead of normal function code, you are running a container, but serverless way. So just when you need is just use it. Some again could be API, could be logs processing, could be one of jobs, and so once you're done, that's this server will die automatically. The second one is Amazon Event Bridge. So Amazon Event Bridge is a serverless event bus that let you build event-driven application at scale from AWS and existing system. It's kind of, you can say, message passing or notifying kind of system. This is how it works. Okay, you are not configuring any server to monitor, get like bypassing like maybe dual communication. You are not doing that. Just event bridge. So it will suppose you want to send one particular message to some other services, or just like notification kind of system you can do. System to system. Okay, system, not a system to user, not that one. AWS step functions. So AWS step functions is a visual workflow orchestrator that makes it easy to sequence multiple AWS services into business grade application. One of the very good example could be ordering system. AWS or Amazon, not AWS, it's Amazon have their own ordering system configured via the AWS step function. Like they have experimented, they have proven the use case, then they bring into the people system. Suppose you have a long running job, okay, maybe you are going to send one package to a customer. Once the, say you're sending package to one, say delivery company, they will call it, they will confirm, okay, you receive it, then that will travel here and there based on say different location. Then we need to notify the users. It's a long running job, you can say, or long running use cases. Those cases, whenever you receive like one particular feedback or say a response based on different workflows, you can trigger different notification or do certain tasks, maybe update databases, whatever it is use case you can do. Now the next one is the AWS or Amazon SQS. Okay, so Amazon Simple Query Service or SQS is a message queuing service, enable you to decouple or scale microservices, distributed system and server application. How that works? Suppose you have 100 servers, okay, could be serverless also, doesn't matter, but say you have 100 servers running across region, different ability zone, and one device, say you have a IoT applications connected to different home in US, India, whatever it is, okay, and that's connected to 100 servers or maybe 1000 servers, doesn't matter. So your router is connected with the server A and the or server 1, and your users say the request, they send request to server 100 or 200, 300, whatever is the number of server. How that's going to work, right? So that, say your router is connected on server A, the request came into the server 100 or 200, whatever it is, that request you need to pass to the router A or router 1, whatever it is. So that's, or say IoT 1, okay, that's how it works. So that message passing you can do from using like from server 100 or 200 to this particular server 1, where the router is connected or the IoT is connected, whatever IoT device connected via the SQS kind of services. Okay. Now the next one, okay. Now SQS again is queuing service, just sending in the query after this say the server acknowledge received it, it will stop the query and that's it. We are not paying any more for that. So the next one is the Amazon SNS. So Amazon Simple Notification System or SNS is a fully managed messaging service for both application to application and application to person communication. So application to application what? So suppose you have one SNS service configured and you want to notify other AWS services or other any services, or say email sending, SMS sending, message sending or OTP sending, you can do all those kind of stuff via the Amazon SNS. Okay, and again you are not managing a server to send all that. It's just one service that you are utilizing. They are managing the infrastructure, they are managing everything. You are going to use that as a pay as you go model. Okay. And the next one is the Amazon API Gateway, and it's kind of, and this actually work really well with API AWS Lambda, because you define your API paths in API Gateway, and then that will, suppose one request come to API Gateway, that will trigger the Lambda functions. Okay. So again, come to the definitions. Amazon API Gateway is a fully managed service that makes it easy to create, publish API at a very large scale. So what are the APIs? API in the sense you have the REST APIs or any API, HTTP APIs, where normally you have get put functions. So all that happen like say get, post, put, delete functions that you do via the API Gateway. Okay. Now the next function is the AWS App Sync. So AWS App Sync is a fully managed service that accelerate applications development with scalable GraphQL API. So suppose you need to, you have a GraphQL API requirement, you can go for the AWS App Sync. Okay. I think other services are the AWS S3, and again, just like maybe Lambda, you guys also aware of the S3. So S3 is a object storage where you store your files, large files, big files, you can say that is like GB or GBs, terabytes kind of data you can store in the S3, and it could be images, it could be videos, it could be log files, it could be some data files, whatever it is, you can store in the S3. Okay, and again, that you're not managing any servers, it's AWS managing S3, and it's getting replicated to all across regions. If you like have the standard class, if you want suppose in a particular one region, you can just one standard 1A. So that those kind of classes are there. Based on the classes, you can decide where to store the data and all. So again, you're not managing servers, you're just uploading your files in S3, and that's it. You're forgetting, you're not managing any server, you're not managing any cluster to store the data, right? So that's a very excellent service. The next one is that AWS DynamoDB. Now AWS Dynamo is a very, I wanted to make a very separate session on that maybe someday. It's a very good use case there. You do not need to manage the database cluster. I think managing database cluster is so much hassle, you don't know. If you don't manage a database cluster, you don't know the hassle. Patching has to be very good, the security has to be very good, data losses chances are very high, so that you have to be very sure to make a backup. Like it has to be always very highly available, otherwise application can go down. So in that, and suppose there particular to DynamoDB, it's a key value store DynamoDB. Just quickly do that. Okay, and in DynamoDB it's a key value store, you can say the JSON store kind of thing, where you simply have to just store the key values, that's it, and you are not worrying about servers and all that. Just as I say, it's serverless. Okay, and it's a single the performance you can achieve is single digits, the microseconds kind of 1, 2, 3 ms kind of values you can get. Normally some database, if you didn't configure really well, it can take 23 ms or more latency, and latency is not a good thing for us. Okay, Amazon IDS proxy are there. So Amazon IDS proxy is managed database proxy for Amazon relation database service that makes application more scalable and secure. Again, it's an advanced concept I will not cover today. Maybe when I cover the DynamoDB in very more detailed, I will definitely cover. Okay, I have a plan for that, so we'll go there. Last one, okay, it's the Amazon Aurora services or serverless. So what is Amazon Aurora serverless? So Amazon Aurora serverless is a MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible relational database that automatically scales based on scales capacity based on your application need. Again, the one I talked about is the DynamoDB, where it's the kind of object store, or just say object store, data, say JSON kind of data store, key value of data store kind of say. Okay, and here you're talking about the Aurora serverless. It's the MySQL, or you can say relational data store. Okay, where you can store your MySQL databases, or say it's about PostgreSQL also. Really great services, and it's highly scalable. It can scale very fast. Suppose you have a very high requirement of read write for some like very high IOPS requirement, and you don't want to, like if you go for normal cluster, you have to provision large cluster, say very high resources, very high number of the storage space of you have to choose very high, so I say very high based on your requirement. But in serverless you don't have to. Whenever you have whatever requirement, suppose you need more read IOPS, suppose you need more write IOPS, suppose you need more CPU processing, suppose the more memory processing, it's scale seamlessly, and that's the key selling point here. So you don't have to manage all that complicated MySQL servers. And I think for MySQL and PostgreSQL scaling is so hazardous, so complicated. I always avoid and ask the clients go for managed solution. Even managed solutions also not that really great these days, specifically for MySQL and PostgreSQL. Of course, in the cloud native there are excellent optionals available, but again you have to manage all those. If you don't want to manage all this complexity and you just want to deal with your queries, your data fetching, data storing, you don't want to complicate your life with the maintaining of the servers and all, then this is good for go with the Amazon Aurora serverless. Oh, lot of services. I know I go very fast. I will just get your comments and then I will come back. Okay. Let's see what are the good comments came. So first comment I see, it's a demo time, but yeah, it's fine. So comment wise, will you upload the stream in your channel after? And yes, it's automatically get uploaded, so you don't have to do anything special. Most of the application are not used most of the application are not used every second, right? So yeah, I mean, if you know that your application is going to be 24/7 and it's a very huge load, in those cases I will say go with the container based system, say ECAs or EKs or Kubernetes solution. But if it's like you're going to get traffic after a few minutes, like no certainty, sometime it come for a few hours, maybe you will not get traffic. Say suppose it's a US time only, you will get a request in after the US people sleep, you don't need your servers to up, those kind of. So where you don't have the requirement to run servers 24/7, those are the exact use cases of the serverless. Okay. What about the storage and network comes on the serverless computing? So yeah, network and storage actually it come very compact, I will say. For storage you have to use object store kind of thing, S3 or those kind of things, and you can configure how much storage you actually need for the system memory person. You can do that. Memory in the sense of the RAM part, that memory we will say that also. So that part you can configure the application how much memory you need, and you only pay for the second or minute you use that. After that you are not getting billed for that. Okay, and compute is also same, like how much CPU you need to process anything. After you are done processing that the API data, whatever it is, then it will shut down and you will not get charged anymore. Okay. Bro, can you what about the sun? Bro, can you can you create a Paytm task for data migration real time? I don't exactly understand the query, to be honest. What is a Paytm task for data migration? But if you explain it, I found that use case really great for other people, then I will think about it. Okay. Again, Naga said one thing, in case of servers, we worry about the backups, failover availability. Who will take care of all this serverless? First of all, we are talking about the AWS, right? So it's the AWS guys, they will take care of, or say their engineers, they have a lot of engineers managing all solution. They will take care of the backups. If you like enable the backups, they will manage they have their software, like they will not manually do it. They have their system and software which do it. Suppose there is a bug, they will be solving that on a priority basis. Then you have a SLA, okay, service level agreement for each services. So the more high level of SLA you get, the better of the service quality you also get. Okay. Yes, failover, availability managed by themselves. Most cases, since it's a managed service, it's highly maintained service. Okay. Okay. I think most of the messages are done. I've covered. Now is a demo time. I think maybe people are waiting for that, and I will just directly jump to that. Okay. So it's come. So I have this application that I did 14 months back, and I think still valid, by the way. So I want this. I will just use this copy. I will explain what I did, and I will just show you how to configure and all that. Just few seconds. Let's first clone this one. I think it's a new laptop, so maybe the clone will be not there. So let's just do that. Okay. Let me open a new window. And let's go to terminal. Let me make it a big for you guys, otherwise it will be hard to see. I know. I think this is too big. So let's do git clone. So serverless framework CI/CD, and what is serverless? Let me show you what is serverless actually, otherwise you guys will confuse. So go to Google and look for serverless framework. It's your one time, like you can say one place to for all kind of serverless solutions. Okay, I really like it. It has support for major cloud serverless solutions, mainly for Lambda. It's excellent. It have the other plugin support and everything. Again, you can go through it more further later on. I do have a plan of like have a full fledged course on serverless framework. If you guys need, like there's any demand for that, I will decide. Otherwise, I will just not go to that depth. Okay. Let's open the folder. And here you have very simple JavaScript. I think you already saw very simple JavaScript. The package also is very simple package you are utilizing. It's a Node.js project, by the way. If you don't know Node.js, it's a simple Node.js project. You can learn about Node.js more if you go to Google and Node.js. Like I know, most people already know. I'm just saying. So you guys can download the binaries and you can start using that. Okay. This is serverless framework. You can go and set it up. So you can say docs get started. You can go with this all these steps. I will see I have the serverless set up or not. If not, I will set it up. Okay. So let me begin async code. So it's a very simple application where you use the serverless HTTP package. Because it's serverless, we have a simple express, just it's an express framework, and I'm using express module to do that. And in Git, you get OK in version, just give the version 1. Maybe when I'm showing the, the creating the CI/CD part, then we will use this part, okay, getting the version part. So to see that is updating accordingly. And we will be using AWS code build for the deployment part. We'll be coming to that as well in shortly. First is that setting up the AWS, not the AWS, setting up the serverless framework itself. I hope I had it configured. So let's see serverless. Okay, let's convert the 16 and see. So looks like it's installed. Let's cancel this because we already have that configured, and I can go. This folder name is the serverless framework CI/CD. Okay, so let me clear it. Serverless framework CI/CD AWS, and here the most important part I will see the serverless.yml. There you configure all your requirements. Now it's very simple looking, but if you want complicated ones, you can go to different samples where you can find all the examples. So serverless framework example GitHub. So if you go there, and I will give you the link also, so guys don't have to worry. There you have almost all examples for all the frameworks. Like not all the frameworks, I'll say all the use cases. So Twitter, TypeScript, uploading to S3, WebSocket, like it's already there. So I have no new things to show. That's the reason I just don't copy paste and show it. I'm just showing some demo application. Okay, Python if you want, like all the cases. Okay, that's why if you want to learn based on your say your easiness or what you're used to any programming language, JavaScript, Python, whatever it is, you can come to this repo and simply utilize this. Let me give it to you guys. And just paste it so you guys can check it out later on. You can come here and simply check it. Okay. You have a long list of the use cases. Based on the use cases, you simply choose the code and you can just clone the code, and you can go to the particular folder, you can configure and see based on different use cases, this particular serverless YML file also is a different file. Okay, so that's the use case. In the example, you will find whatever use case you have. If you don't, and suppose you want my help, do let me know. I'll just make it for you guys. Okay, let's come back to our code. Again, it's a very simple one. We are using Node.js version 12x. Maybe I will make it 14 because it's a very old one. That's why. And looks like all good. I am using the serverless offline plugin to some local testing and all. Okay. Package JSON. You have your all commands. Suppose you want to check locally how it working or not. I can run serverless this SLS offline start, and because we have this plugin installed, it will install it. So all the codes are already there. Mainly you are utilizing the Express.js, server HTTP, and serverless offline. These three binaries modules, or yeah, modules you are utilizing. Okay. Well, now let's get started. First thing I will do, I will try to deploy the application. First, let's install the dependencies and see. I think it's not there because there is no npm module, right? So npm install, and we'll install all the modules. So just wait for that. It will take few seconds. So yeah, it's already done. And let's try running normally in the local using the npm run tm. Okay. Run tm. Okay, unzip. Okay, I think maybe just we'll start with this. Okay, you see, if we go here, because we didn't have that one, so install dev, cannot get null, so we actually have this. So based on different we have it, right? So you can see git dev, and let's again stop the application. Again start. Is it git call? So app did git. Let me just quickly check it. Let's check the serverless. So we are doing on any index.js. I don't think that's the issue anyway, but let's check. Okay, localhost 3000 cannot get null. I think maybe proxy 404. Let's start and try. This kind of thing unknowingly happens, so don't worry if that happens. You will definitely try and later you'll find a solution. So let's try the version. Dev version. Oh, that works. It's fine. So maybe say status. Cannot get status. So anyway, means API working, so that's fine. Root not found. Dev start dev. But that's working. What happening? It's a bit old code, so that could be the problem. Yes, that is the issue. So that was the issue, because you have to add the path, because right now we are in the dev version. That's the reason. It's fine. And you can actually you can deploy that as it like this, but you can configure all this environment. Stage is say dev. You can set production also like this, or say prod for example, and accordingly you can change it here also prod, and if you just stop it, start it again. It's a very old application because I copied from the older one, it's having problem. You can start from the new one and it shouldn't have any problem for that. Say prod, and if we go here version, what happening? Okay, somehow it's the cache is staying there. Somehow it's getting problem. No, it's having problem, guys. So it's fine. You can always get copy from the example repo. It isn't working today. I hope that work. That's why isn't predicted. So yeah, it's what happening since adding a base path. I think now the base path will work. Oh, I guess. Whatever it is, so if you like need always the proper one, you can come to this particular example. I already given the path. Here you will get the latest updated one. You see they update it time to time. So they will get. I think I didn't update from last 14 months. That could be the problem, but it's fine. It's good to start with at least. Okay. So yeah, 14 months ago code. So yeah, I will not stay on this long. It's like at least the basic working. This if you go to the version, it will print like this. Maybe I will just later on I will check the code base and I will fix whatever the bug I have. Maybe I need to update the serverless YML and all that. So I will do that later on. Let's come back to serverless YML. This is where you just name the service and all your Lambda function will name according to this one. This is your provider. In the provider, we mention the name, we mention the runtime, the stage, either prod, dev, staging, whatever is your environment. In the region, we mention the region. You have to mention the region where you want to deploy your codes on. Memory size. So how much memory should you have? I think someone asking about the memory size, right? Here you can mention your memory size. And since it's a Lambda function, we want to supply like any API path, and that's we're handling the API routes based on the express API path. So you are passing the simply you are passing all the path to the express.js, okay, in this code, and then the express.js is handling all the routes. Now this okay looks good. Let's go to terminal, and what you're going to do, you're going to run SLS deploy. Okay, again let me just update the version and let me clear the screen and do run SLS deploy. You see it's creating CloudFormation. So yeah, behind the scene ultimately it's a CloudFormation stack that will deploy all the changes to your AWS account. Okay. Let's upload it. Let me actually log in my AWS account also, because there I can show you how this is working. Okay. Again, don't worry about the code. I will maybe just update the depot with the latest code. So don't worry on that. Let me log in into AWS. Okay, let's go back again. So if we go and we have selected region as AWS West 2, right? So let's go to AWS West 2 and we are already there. Let's go to cloud formation. See, this is where the cloud formation stack I think is already done. Updating cloud formation stack. One by one is doing that. See, updating is progress. Serverless demo prod. And this is, I think, because it's old code and everything, that's having some time. In the latest serverless codes, it's much more faster. So maybe I will show you some other day how to configure all that. Just wait for a few minutes, and once the say functions are available, they will come to, if you go to Lambda, and see function serverless demo prod app. This is where the application is going to get deployed. It's getting linked with API gateway, and that the serverless framework handles automatically. You don't have to do anything manually. This is where you configure your routes. Okay. Okay, looks like it's deployed, and if you go to this, probably is gonna see error. Okay, in locally it didn't work, in server it's working. Strange. Just could be because the the things is the code is old. That's the reason. Okay, so prod versions working. Now let's configure the CI/CD part. I think that's also very important part we have to do. So to do that, let's go to the our AWS account. Go to code commit, not code commit, code pipeline. In server, you can see we just use the server URL that I got from here, and I just run it to see application deployed fine, it's working. Now here we are going to create a pipeline, annual pipeline serverless CI/CD. Again, the code for this this deployment part via the CI/CD you will find in the build spec. Simply we are just let's update this version a bit, because that's a very old version. Let's make it at least 14. Okay, build spec 14. If any error, we'll update further. That's fine. And make it updated code base, git codes. Whatever is use case, we'll just comment like that. Origin master, and we'll go to master branch. And let's refresh. Yes, 40. Now let's go to our code pipeline, serverless CI/CD. We just go with the new role, then go down. Artifacts to default location, default manage key is fine. Service provider. See, this is the source. So in the source, we will be utilizing the. I think for most of my cases, I mean most of my tutorials I use code commit. For this tutorial, let's use the GitHub. And connections, I already have the connection. If you don't, just click on this connect to GitHub and follow the step, you will be able to do it. Okay. Let's go down. Repository name, let's search for the repository name here. So serverless, I think I just type by serverless, it will come. Serverless framework CI/CD. This is the one. Branch name, we have only masters, we'll go with the master. Start the pipeline on the source code changes. It's fine. Code pipeline default, yeah, we'll go with the code pipeline default. It's the output format. So if you want to do full clone, it is, see, it's given this AWS code pipeline passes metadata about the repository that allows subsequent action to do pull or git clone. So if you need that kind of requirement to do it, normal cases we go with the code pipeline default if you're not sure about what you're going to do. Build provider with the, we'll go with the code build because we are going to use this build spec file with the code build. Again, in the build spec file, just so you know, guys know, it's simply doing the runtime version as Node.js 14. If 14 site, I don't remember it's supporting, maybe 14, we'll see. If not doesn't support, we'll do the update with the latest version. And we're going to do npm install npm install -g serverless. Then we run npm install to install the modules, and you will simply do that serverless deploy stage name. And here the stage name is prod, so I will just apply the environment variable anyway. So create project. Let's name serverless code deploy, and go down environment operating system, go with the Ubuntu, runtime standard and image, always go with the latest one, okay. And environment is Linux. If you are going to do the container build kind of thing, then you go with enable the privilege. For our case, we are not building any container, right? So we'll not select that one. Let's create the new role, and we'll see if any problems. I don't think there will be any problem in the deployment. Maybe you will see any particular permission we will add accordingly. I think yes, for we are deploying our serverless in our AWS account, right? So that might need Lambda, S3, all other accesses. We'll just add accordingly. Use a build spec file. So if your file name is not this buildspec.yml, you have to give the custom file name. Okay. For our case, it's the buildspec.yml, so we don't have to give anything. Okay, looks all good. We'll just continue to code pipeline. It takes few seconds, so just wait for a bit. Single build, let's go with that. Deploy provider. Here we don't need any deployment because we are deploying in the Lambda. They don't have a Lambda option to deployment, so anyway you cannot do that. So just click on the skip deploy stage because we are deploying via this code build anyway. So in the code build itself we are saying serverless deploy stage and the stage name. So you don't need to use the code deploy. Go down and simply run create pipeline, and of course it's going to work. It's not going to work because I didn't give a lot of permissions to the particular build system. So it's going to fail, and we'll add the permission. So let's let it fail first. We'll add the permissions and we'll try again. Okay. Start the build. It's only 2 steps. So let it fail, then I will try out. And in the meantime, let me see what are the comments you guys have. I know there will be a lot of comments, but okay. Okay, not much comments, so it's fine. I think it should fail now. So the details of the builds. Submitted, code provisioning done. Is going to fail in this particular step. Commands will work fine. This step will fail because it doesn't have the permission that is required. See the logs going on. Since you have selected runtime 14, it's automatically installed that. Automatically, it's already configured that way. Okay. See, it failed. Error in the execution, serverless deploy, stage name, unexpected boolean stage. Okay, let's remove this one. I think this latest version doesn't support that part. So remove that in the build spec. Rectify. So let's go with that. Rectify build spec, or just a fixed build spec. That's fine. .yml. Okay, pushed. Now let's go back again. If we try again also fail, but let me come, because the reason was different, right? Oh, it started. If you indicate a CI/CD, it automatically integrated with the GitHub. So anytime you make code change in the GitHub also, then it will auto trigger. So let's go to details again. Again, just wait for a few seconds. In the meantime, I think I saw one comment, so I will simply go to answer that. Seems we should first know how to use Visual Studio and get code, pick it, connect with code providers. That we do all the time. And you know what? The comments, I mean, the codes we get from any other sources, that's just a code, right? We need to modify based on our requirements. Like, we cannot just copy paste and paste it and to other our existing client codes, right? So what we do, we copy the code, we run locally, we test it out, we see what's working, what's not working, how to fix that, we fix it, make it a complete solution ready. Then we just merge with, not merge, I will say, we push to our repos and create pull requests based on the, whatever the use case, we do that. Okay. Can you take one sample and try to download to your local laptop and post to AWS? I think that works, so it's fine. One other questions Victor have. This is an different topic, but where can you find good CO2 associate architect question to pass AWS associate at first time? See, the question you'll find in the Movies Labs, really great. I think in the Udemy also there are a lot of good places, good practice questions available. You can try that, but I think the Movies Lab is the best. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to the codes. I think should have failed by now, hopefully. Okay, yeah, it failed. See, go to the logs, build log section, you will see the logs. At the failure, error reason exists status 1. It's just saying exists status 1, but it should have said that it doesn't have the access. But yeah, whatever. Oh, it got it. So user AR, sorry, I didn't mean, just I didn't notice that part. See this part. Maybe I will zoom a bit. So here environment, what is fine, error, user ARN assume role code bit deploy become permission describe Slack. So it doesn't have a lot of access. Okay. Now the easy way is to go for Google and serverless framework permission, you can say IAM permissions for deploy. I think it was for deploy something. There was, I forgot to copy, but it's fine. Oh, I get here. We will see. See, deploy role for a pipeline that uses serverless framework. You can see the permissions: cloud formation, create change stack, S3 access you need. So these are the permissions you will need. I think there is one JSON available. So I will just see that I can find a not JSON. See JSON. I stored it somewhere. Now I don't remember where I store it, to be honest. Here we don't have it. It's fine. For now, we'll just simply go with the administrator permission. But I will just share in my this particular repo where I'll fix the code. I mean, it's a very 14 months code, right? So I will fix the code and I will add that JSON also for IAM permission. I had it, but I think one project I had it somewhere, so I will just give it add it here. For now, let's go to the build details, and in the build details, you'll see service role. Go there. I think cloud permission S3 and a few other permissions needed. But anyway, I will not guess. I will share the JSON later on. So go to, you can see add permissions, attach policies, and search for now admin. But again, admin is a dangerous for demo fine, but otherwise it's not a good thing. Okay, admin administrator. Admin was there. Okay, administrator access. I think this is the new one they added. Full access to AWS services. Okay, attach policies for now. But again, it's a risky thing. Don't do it. I will share the JSON. I don't have it with me right now. I will share later on. Okay, so go again and go to the pipeline. Release change, or what we can do, we can just add, say, go to the index.js, we can make it version 2. So let's save it and this JS. Okay, done. Index.js, git commit, version 2, git push. What happened? Forgot to enter the message probably. It's fine. It happens. Master. So it will push to the Git repo, and as soon as you push, it will automatically start the build process just within few seconds delay. Oh, it already done, and build process started. This time I think build will go just exactly fine. Okay. So done. Just wait for a few seconds again. Now in the serverless, see, it's a very simple. When you have a lot of other services, you have a lot of other functionalities, DynamoDB, WebSockets, MySQL, say Aurora serverless, then you will see a lot of challenges adding more and more. So if you want those kind of sessions, how to work serverless with say DynamoDB or say WebSockets and all, if you guys really want, I will definitely think about making a session on that. Again, this time I had some dummy code, so I didn't much focus on the code part. But normal case, otherwise, I at least 2 or 3 hours back, I do check the code. That code has worked last time. So it's fine. This also worked, but I think because the library updated, that's the problem. And see, every time serverless framework update, there's either standalone, even there the normal serverless that globally install that also. So what you should do, if you are developing application, each month you should check and see what are the changes they are making and adapt to that. Otherwise, if you don't do that for a long time, you will see at the end a lot of features are working, this not working, that not working. So learn from our mistakes what you do. And we did all this mistake, then it became complicated, we solve it somehow, then onwards we make sure, no, we'll at least in a month we should check what are the changes happen, let's migrate to latest things and let's get done with that. So go for that. Okay, I think now it should work fine. And yeah, it's deploying. Soon after the deployment is done, you will see here, if right now it's serverless 1, right? So it will become serverless 2. Just few seconds. Now you can see the progress in the here also. So if you go to the let's see, it's running, right? Okay. Then you can go to CloudFormation. Otherwise, suppose it's completed here, and if you go there, there will be nothing running, right? So what to check? So just to be double sure. Oh, it looks like completed. Then it will show it completed. Yeah, that's what taking. Sometimes we go there, it's completed by then. Fine. You'll see it's version 2 now. Yeah, it's version 2. So yeah, the CI/CD also worked. Again, it's a very simple application. For a real application, would be a bit different. And if you want, I will say you the use cases. Till now, I worked on a lot of this server application. Again, this is the old code. Other codes are the latest version, but it's the client code. I will not show that. But if you guys want, I may find it an extra time to make that code and give it to you guys. So based on your guys' feedback, I will think about that. So it done, the deployment done, the CI/CD working fine. And again, this code repo is old. I'm sharing with you guys, but this is the old repo. So sorry again. So yeah, I will tell you what are the things that I tried with serverless. So I tried like full HTTP, XPGS API development, Django I tried another thing is that Flask. I try with Go mod. I mean, there is a Go web. They have the module. With that, you can develop APIs. So I tried that one. Database wise, I try with DynamoDB, Aurora, normal, MongoDB switch also. I think I tried one day. I think yeah, this is the more database part. DynamoDB, Aurora are the most used cases, I will say, with Lambda specifically, because suppose any the client coming for serverless application development and deployment, they say that we want to make it as minimum cost as possible. Maybe just because startup, right? They are just starting up, they don't have much traffic. That's why they either, if it's their requirement is the relational database, we go for the Aurora, either MySQL or Postgre. Again, usually we go with the MySQL. If the company want or the client want that they want to go with they have some DB engineers, dedicated DB engineer in the PostgreSQL, then we go with the PostgreSQL. Otherwise, we normally go with the this MySQL. Okay. And if it's again NoSQL, it's just we close our eyes, go to the DynamoDB. Again, of course, based on the use cases. If they have lot of complicated queries and all that, again DynamoDB support all that, but there are some use cases I will say where we in a bit more complicated logical queries we go for either DynamoDB or DocumentDB. And another problem that I found working with DynamoDB, there is no direct delete. What you have to do, you have to get all the IDs, like you are and again DynamoDB will come very detailed session if you guys want then only. And I am working in DynamoDB, I think already two years I work fully on DynamoDB, so got some knowledge. 3 production application I work in DynamoDB, so you can have confidence on me on that part. Again, how much I can represent, that's another thing. I will make sure, like if that doesn't happen, I will do dedicated session. Maybe I will do a pre-recorded DynamoDB session if you guys want. So yeah, DynamoDB part, the thing is that it's based on the score. I would say credit, or you can say it's exact what it's the words DynamoDB. Let me show you. Say explode item. Say create table. Say sample. I will just simply show you guys. Say ID, short key, timestamp. Yes, the read capacity and write capacity units. So these 2 units actually, normally what happen, if you have a database you want to delete, is simply separated as a delete call we solve, right? But DynamoDB, to delete something, I found it a bit kind of confusing for many people when I started that time, is that you have to first fetch the items IDs, and then you have to run a bulk write call with the delete parameter, and then only you can delete it bulk of the data. So if you want to remove only one item, you can do it. The delete item, delete that what you have. I think let me just show you in Node. I think Node DynamoDB SDK. So remove record. You don't have it here in the SDK. Yeah. So if you want to delete one, there is a delete option available. This is not the one. See, when you need it, you will not find it. That's the problem. Yeah, delete item. This is a function name. Delete item is the function name. So that call you can make, but you don't have a direct function to call delete all or delete many, like MongoDB have, or say update many in a single call. Of course, there is ways you can simulate all that, but extra effort there will be needed, right? So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So each DBs, each services have this own pro and cons. So based on that, you have to decide best for use cases. Okay, let's go back to the question. I think a lot of people had a lot of questions, so I will go there. If not much question, then I will just wrap up the session. Okay, I see one comment newly that Tin saying that, hi Sandeep, have you ever tried serverless framework or SAM? So this is what you tried today is a serverless framework. SAM also I tried, but I found it a bit complicated. Serverless framework I will say is production ready, but when they update the versions and all, then I found personally something shaky. Okay, so you have to actually store your that standalone binary some safe place, because otherwise suppose you move to another binary they give the update, there might be some problem. So better to have some that kind of backup ready. And how about its scalability, deployment process, other production criteria too. So yeah, deployment process you saw, they of course natively support deployment. They have their own tools and services for serverless framework. SAM also very seamless deployment I have seen, not a problem. Development and testing is one challenge, but you have to get COVID. There are a lot of tools available. You can develop the applications standalone way, and you can switch between as a serverless or normal application, or even can Dockerize. I've done that also using Express.js framework. Even with Python also I able to do that part. So that's good. Only I will say that the thing is that the deployment you can use like, the direct deployment via the deploy function. In case of SAM, you can do version wise deployment and rollback. So that's one advantage in the serverless framework over this serverless framework. But I think I heard one new tool also came. The serverless framework themselves give some tool, some maybe community tool to do the deployment and rollback. So that also you can check it out later on. So yeah, I will say yes, serverless is production ready. I am already utilizing serverless for I think 3 or 4 production clients, working really well, not much hassle. Sometime here and there small issue happen, just like any other application. We fix it and we are done. That's it. So all good. Okay, so no worries. You can go with. I will say if you want to start considering like serverless Lambda deployment part, you can go with the serverless framework other than SAM. But again, if you want to find out yourself, do try both and see yourself what is the better option you want to try out, like you want to go with. So I see, yeah, not much questions. Okay, here one question off topic was fine. So is Rahul saying that hi, I have Electron desktop app code which is made using Selenium and Cucumber framework stored in Bitbucket repository. How to integrate with Jenkins and execute the script? See, integrate with Jenkins, it's I think easier. You can just in Jenkins, you in the source control provided add your Jenkins and make sure your Jenkins app is configuration or app secrets are configured properly, and then yeah, you can run your whatever script you have to run. Just make it the freehand script. Even the pipeline also you can run it, so it's fine. And if you can see that for Selenium or other thing that Cucumber, if there is any plugins available, you can just use that also. Good. Okay, I don't see much questions, so I think we are all good, and I'm ending the session here. Thank you again for staying all this long. I know some technical glitches happened, so thing didn't plan out as I expected. I wanted to do a bit more advanced, but yeah, this one stream solution is the worst, I'll say. I may go back using the Restream or maybe StreamYard later on for this live streaming part, or maybe direct streaming by command by this tool that I do direct streaming like normally, that's even better than them. So guys, thank you for staying this long. Bye, and have a nice weekdays again. So previously I was doing the Saturday live session, but previous day I was busy. And today I was also busy. Today we have Jamai Sosti, something local Bengal festival for us son-in-laws kind of thing. But yeah, it's all good.